voltamos. Pá, já acabei este jogo. Mas estou-me a pedir jogar outra vez. E esta é a Definitive Edition. Vamos ver qual é a diferença.
Famed, of course, for my unique red skin and unparalleled skills as a general of the House of War, I, the Red Prince, was raised within the vast palaces of the fabled Forbidden City. I was destined to become the next emperor. But my ambitions suffered a bit of a setback when I fell from grace for cavorting with demons. Now, I'm exiled and hunted by assassins. But I assure you, I remain undaunted and as determined as ever to claim my rightful throne.
Once I was a crusader for the Divine Order. I pledged my life to Lucian the Divine. The war changed everything. He sent me to save the elves I grew up amongst. I arrived too late. Lucian ordered the use of death fog against the Black Ring, annihilating everyone I once knew in the process. Now I'm a mercenary killer, one of the infamous Lone Wolves. And my next target is none other than Lucian's own son.
All my life, I've been a performer, a musician, beloved and celebrated by all. But I have a secret. I'm also a playground for sprites and spirits and worse. The voice that rings inside me now is darker than any that came before. Almost caused a bunch of my fans to rip each other to pieces. But you can trust me. I've got this under control. Step 1. Find out who, or what, is trying to take control of my mind. Step 2. Make it sorry it ever tried.
Oh, don't stare. How would you look after eons in some ghastly crypt? Your people are rather prone to death. Mine are not. Yet when I emerged from my completely unjustified imprisonment, I found them gone. Our culture forgotten. Any trace of the world I knew all but obliterated. I must even hide my true face beneath an ever-shifting mask for fear you savages will attack me. That is how I wander this strange world. Trying to uncover the truth about a history you primitive people never even knew existed.
This is my guy though. É este o meu gajo. O gajo com que eu vou escolher. Estava difícil, mas acho que foi este. Acho que é este mesmo.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared, and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
So, still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry. The sedative will wear off soon enough. Easy now. No need to hurry. Get your bearings and report to me upstairs.
Well now, aren't you a curious sight? If I'd had a mask to hide my bones as well as yours, maybe I'd still be walking around today. Where'd you get it? There can't be many curios like that in the world. Ha! Fresh out of the crypt, are you? No, we are abnormal. It's why we hide in the shadows. Or walk about like you still had flesh on your bones in your case. You even have yourself a silky mortal voice. Ha! Should have known it was a parlor gimmick. Still, you'd best keep that mask on. The living don't take kindly to seeing their future staring back at them.
You are you, but more. You are another, but not. You look to your hands, your belly, your feet. Flesh you don't know, molded into unfamiliar shapes. You cradle your aching head, where another's memories and wisdoms mix with your own. Your fingers trace a line from your head to your face, feeling not the creases of the mask, but the porous surface of new skin. You lower your arm, blink twice, and step forward in this new guise.
And now you are silent. If only all humans were so thoughtful. An animal sty. Freight or food?
Shaking her fluffy coat, the sheep eyes you balefully, her rectangular eyes like letterboxes to the void. With one sharp hoof, she kicks you right in the shin.
Banded like a chicken's leg, but not much meat on your bones. That may be so, but look at the flies. Ban wisdom. Flies know when a creature will die. And it's around your head they're buzzing, not mine.
With two shakes of her stumpy tail, the sheep turns away from you to peruse her hay-filled mane. Shaking her fluffy coat, the sheep eyes you balefully, her rectangular eyes like...
Banded like a chicken's leg, but not much meat on... That may be so.
With two shakes of her stump...
Get your dirty little paws out of my hair.
I'll need to get clever with this lock.
Boas, Como vai isso?
Did you expect a needle?
Ok. Opa, para já o jogo está bem diferente. Estou a gostar.
You there? Come here. Hey, get me out of this cage and I'll make it worth your while. You in? Your guess is as good as mine. Someone screamed loud as a banshee. After that, pure pandemonium. They never even told me what I was accused of. Just dragged me down here. Set me free, and I'll set you free. A fair trade, I should think. A gentleman among jesters, you are. Give that lever a pull, and I guarantee we'll both get something out of the deal.
Before you can even touch the lever, you hear a sniff and snort behind you as the snoring Magister mumbles himself awake. One blood...
Is my shift... Wait, you're no magister. You're a sorcerer. What are you doing here, filthy scrounger? Choose your words carefully. My fists ache to meet a new face. Damn. If it's not one thing, it's another. And no way I can trust those fools to deal with any nonsense on their own. Can't leave the prisoner alone, though. He's been nothing but trouble, I hear. If it's all the same, I think it's best he comes with me. Some offence intended. You hear that, Emoire? We're taking a walk. Come on. And keep your hands where I can see them. Hurry it up, sorcerer. We haven't got all day.
No. No. You must a dead magister.
So
Somebody
much
will
for
have
a
to take the
peaceful
blame
stroll.
for this. And it won't be me.
Well, shit. Okay.
I should have known there'd be trouble.
The prisoner's buoyant voice darkens as his gaze finds the sunken hollows that once held your eyes.
Ah, freedom. Tastes better than wine. I'm nothing if not a man of my word. And I did give my word I'd set you free, lad. Say your prayers while you've breath to speak them. The halls await.
Well, double shit. Okay.
empty.
Ok, estou um pouco perdido.
Good thing I needn't worry about splinters. This again? And I'm back where I started. Nowhere to go but up. Rubbish.
No lesions, no trauma. It was bled by magic. No known associates. In fact, he seemed quite averse to spending time with the others. No lesions, no trauma. It was bled by magic. No lesions, no trauma. It was bled by magic.
This again?
Why, you're looking... There you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
It seems as though there's a pattern in the blood flow. That can't be natural.
No. You're alive, and you're having a conversation. You are on a ship, of course, but luckily for us both, we're merely sailing the plain old sea.
I'll need to
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy. A new life awaits, and if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Source. For good.
She frowns and peers at you closely, concern clearly etched upon her face.
Delusions such as these are rare, but not unheard of. I recommend a cup of mulled wine and another night's sleep. Just take it easy. Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those Source spells of yours? See what happens.
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling, bursting, then breaking, only to fade back into your soul like rain into the earth.
You better stop before you hurt yourself. All will, but no result. There you have it. See? The collar's function. It neuters you of sorts. Makes you unable to cast Source. For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's. You've been collared and you've been told why. There really is no need for you to linger. There you are. Not too tight, I hope. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and you'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters. No. You're alive.
Index fingers.
My word. Oh, well, I'm sure a new life awaits. And if you're a why, for my peace of mind, of course.
Currents of magic surge.
You better stop before you hurt. There you have it. See? The collar's function. It neuters you of sorts. For your own peace. What a well of knowledge this tome is. Dallas is such a dear lending it to me.
It seems as though there's a pattern in the blood flow. That can't be natural.
Good gods, there's been a murder here.
A young magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles whiten around her weapon as you pass. Behind the magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does. You surprised? You're one of them. You know what sorcerers are capable of? Whoever did this found a way around their collar and killed a man. Small ones this time, thank the gods. We'll find out who did it, one way or another.
But who? Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. Two things scared the living daylights out of him. His own shadow and his own source. We'll find out who did this. Speaking of...
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. I thought as much. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Thanks. I just want to catch whoever did this before they hurt anyone else.
Everything's spick and span. Nothing left to do, really.
No marks, no indications of a struggle.
Whatever. Eu desisto. Que se foda.
A no doesn't become a yes over time, you know.
I'm not suited for this. It's sea cow, not sea sheep. Haven't got any shears, have you? People these days.
Do you know Losa? She's a really good singer. I'm better though. Listen. La 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 la.
Ah, there you are. Husband. Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not-at-all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical.
The young woman seems about to raise her hand, but quickly remembers herself and nods pointedly at the excited children.
Who indeed? Why, my name is, Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peebe.
The children break out into giggles.
I say, it is.
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we? You'd presume right. Nope. Trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
I know it.
Take it easy, Chief. You don't want to get no... Be good, you scallywags.
Haven't got it.
Ah, there you are. Would you please tell this very
The young woman...
Who indeed?
The children break out...
I say...
Her pinched face...
Yeah, okay.
She turns to you.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we? You'd presume right. Nope. Trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance, thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball every day after lunch. You're too soft for it. You take care, though.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to... As quickly as they came, the clouds clear...
Good luck, Chief.
Name? Well, you aren't here on my list. Scram, eh? We're trying to catch a killer here.
Be good, you scallywag.
You! Sorcerer! Blood? No! Go! Oof.
It was one of them. I know it.
Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad? No.
You one of them? A Divine Order loyal? They killed a sorcerer, you know. They'll hide the evidence well enough, but...
How dare you classify this slop as
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
There has been a murder, Your Majesty.
He turns his head toward you, looking you up and down, and smiles before turning his attention to the ship once more.
You look like a boy to me. Listen if you're interested, or get gone if you aren't. The ship, of course.
Never thought you'd...
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
And?
Well, we've got this wolf on a leash now.
Sick as a leper's cat. From the state of it, I'd say she's being cared for by a bunch of beardless babes who never loved anyone but their own mums. But there's more. Listen close. There now, just like that. Squeak! Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back, the other catches you before you lose your footing.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news. It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east. Burn my beard. That means if we've been traveling for, yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy.
How dare you classify this slop as food?
No indeed, boy. But that ain't my final destination.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over to you.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
And I don't intend to do away with the custom.
There has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned.
He continues stroking his beard, a beatific smile on his lips, and doesn't acknowledge you anymore.
If you'll be pardoning me, I'll be...
Sing us a song. I know you can.
That's enough.
If you'll be pardoning me, I'll be much obliged. If you'll be pardoning... If you'll be pardoning me, I'll...
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with him.
You, Jill, is that right? I've a few questions for you. You are Jill, aren't you?
I ain't saying nothing.
Bloody dwarves, I'll come back to you, and you better be ready to talk here.
Well, what have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we? See if you'll do.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would if all of a sudden he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
My, we are fierce, aren't we? Not to worry. I'll soon remedy that. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook? In which case I take it your cuisine is limited to the introduction of eggs to hot water. How disappointing. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor?
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Nest. Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a campfire.
Yes, I can tell from your vagabond chic, a bag is as good as a shirt kind of style. I shouldn't be getting my hopes up. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after. The very basics, then. I suppose that's a start. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. Let's evaluate, shall we? As per your own testimony, you can groom, but you have the taste buds of a dung beetle and the fashion sense of a monkey in a clown suit. That won't do at all, see? I'm sad to say I must deny you the opportunity to be my slave. Ever so sorry.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
I know, but you just don't have what it takes. A good slave's made of sterner stuff, I'm afraid. Still, hone your skills, and one day you may just qualify for a position in a lesser household than mine. You keep dreaming, you hear?
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer fare than boiled roots and rotten tubers, too. Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat behind this very wall. The indignity.
Wolves around a campfire.
Well, you've got this wolf on a leash now.
Soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with it. I'm busy watching for clues, sorcerer.
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. Noticing you, he straightens and beckons for you to come closer.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this trampy fan.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again. He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck. He
pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago. Isn't that right, Vic?
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion, but says nothing. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword, and now he's Johnny Big Pants. No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man down without good reason.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back at him with pointed intensity.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough. Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the Joy. Away from interested parties. The Joy, I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since Bishop Alexander runs the show. Wonder if we'll get to meet the ringmaster himself. Easy now. I might think the same, but Vic here will blow a blood vessel if he hears you talking like that.
What are you conspiring about over there? You! What's your name?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet. And that bee is me.
Name?
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls at you as he stows the notebook back in his voluminous robes.
Away with you, at once.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips as he leans back against the wall.
What? Didn't make it...
They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut
An
up?
elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like. Rolling dice, deciding fates. Don't worry, honey. It isn't yours.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
Never say never, though.
She eyes you quite seriously.
Not the future, no. But I can read the past in flesh. One of the perks of being an elf, you see. I'm quite good at it, too. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
She looks at you in surprise when you bare an arm of bone.
My. Guess I'll have to find out the memory from Marrow, won't I?
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue, efficient like a cat grooming.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers, watching, staring at them, hoping that none would stare back. You were desperate to speak up, to reach out, to form a connection with these strange creatures. But you were scared, terrified even, of what they might think of you. Of course it is. The truth's right there, skin deep, so to speak. But don't you worry, darling. Your secret's safe with me. I don't lick and tell.
Sing us a song. I know you can. A no doesn't become a yes over time.
No marks, no indications of a struggle.
The hatch is blocked. I'll need to find another way.
You've been collared and you've been told why. They're...
Come on, please, Losa.
I'm here because I'm magic. Are you here because you're weak?
I did.
Do you know Losa? She's a really good singer.
You look like my daddy. His name is Frida.
You, Jill, is that right? I've a few questions for you. You are Jill, aren't you? I ain't saying nothing. Bloody dwarves, I'll come back to you, and you better be ready to talk here.
It's a register, sir. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far? Of course I do. Seems Voidwalk can dog your heels like a shadow. That's no way to live, is it? You'll see. We're gonna help you. You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
Sing us a song. I know you can.
Go!
A no
Move!
doesn't come a
Woof.
yes every time,
Never thought you.
Like I said, you aren't on the list.
That light. I always knew you'd turn up, thought.
My, these stuff. What a well of knowledge this tome is. Dallas is such a dear lending it to me.
As the dead man's flesh slides down your throat, you feel his consciousness enter yours. His memories are yours to experience. You are Finn. Your heart is heavy. You know too much. It's all too much. You met him. A bright light blinds you, then fades. You feel a tremendous power in your hands, but they are shaking so hard you can barely use them. Suddenly you're on this very ship, crouched in a corner, hugging your knees. A figure approaches, an older woman. Her eyes are kind. She comes closer. She says she wants to talk. She reaches a hand toward you. You grasp it. The memories end. You are no longer Finn. You return to yourself with a jolt.
So, anything interesting for me? I'll take that as a no. So, anything interesting? You got an elf for a friend, I guess. Please, don't tamper with the evidence, especially not like that. As for the older woman, I'll have to check out the ship's log. If she's aboard, I haven't met her myself. Must avoid us Reds when she sees us. If you meet anyone like that aboard, maybe you could talk to her. Casually. See when she last spoke to Finn.
When I reassure you and you shut up.
You think me mad?
Mad? No. Insufferable? Surely. Keep those bubbles trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
You seem on edge, officer. What on earth is the matter?
Murder most foul, and keep those bolts trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
Do you?
Thought you'd end up a prison
Well,
guard.
perhaps you seem on edge, officer. What on earth is the matter?
I always knew you'd
Murder most foul, and I strongly suspect you know all about it.
Your kind always
Do
have
you?
closest to our new
Well, perhaps you're absolutely right.
Well, you've got this wolf on a leash now.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
My mask! She stole it. If these savages see me without it, they will have my skull for a goblet.
bodies in a heap on the floor. She's breathing normally, but her eyes are wide open, like those of a corpse. Dark, greyish-black clouds swirl through them. The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious.
What happened? Must have been the turnips. You dare strike a royal? Ooh.
The lizard's eyes close as he slips into unconsciousness. Ifan lies motionless, curled on the ground like an animal. Under his shaggy hair, you can see green eyes fluttering as if in a nightmare. A low whine escapes his eyes flicker open, but he doesn't register.
Lucien.
Ifan cries out, then his eyes fall closed again, no matter how much you
No, not the final dark. Not yet.
Her hand lies limp in yours.
The dice roll darkly. They're rolling for me.
The elf lies motionless.
this again.
The hound paws desperately at its snout. It winces as it draws blood from its wet, black nose and continues scratching. The dog notices you for the first time and snarls, the hairs on its back prickling as it lowers itself into a lunge.
You sorcerer!
It sneezes suddenly and paws at its nose once more.
Can't smell. Can't breathe. Too much sauce. Too much. Too much. Please, make it stop.
Sorcerer!
The dog whines and continues pawing at its nose.
Damn. That doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards. Not long before this thing snaps into splinters. God damn it. I need to get off this wreck. And quick. Great gods! Something's pounding on the hull.
The marking on the door was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You recognize you press your palm against the door to open it. Your fingers clack against the wood, and you suddenly feel grey. The touch leaves you numb, dull. It doesn't budge. The moment you touch the door, greyness seeps into your bones. You are hollow. The door groans open, but an ashen shadow clouds your mind.
Death fog? Good thing I'm immune. Still, this means trouble.
Genius. We got it, boys.
Thank the gods! By the fight, Grace, what was...
He eyes the collar circling your neck and reaches a hand towards his blade.
Another sorcerer!
The Magister's companion doesn't blink, frozen in place at the sight of you.
Like you don't know? Mutiny! Did that witch fix your collar too?
He whispers loudly to the other Magister.
Don't just cower there, Rix! Take out your blade!
Rix grabs his sword, which shakes in the rhythm of his trembling hand. The Magisters look to each other, then back to you, and unsheath their blades.
Your lies end here!
Yeoman's Chief. Alexander. A curious name, but no more bizarre than anything else that species does. lifeboat. That means there's still a chance.
Oh, you do it. You do it.
Shut your trap, kid. Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to know.
Said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
Thank you! There's a ladder right over there. You can go straight down.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear? Had to open your big mouth, didn't you?
Never need someone.
The Magister lies on the floor.
If you can walk, get yourself up the ladder. There's a... Wait. Voidwoken. These beardless bugs won't sink a ship on my watch.
I thought Voidwoken was supposed to be scary. Let the games begin.
I've faced worse.
They who are about to triumph.
Let's head above decks for some air.
I hear something. It's Magister C1. The one who put on this damn collar. Sounds like she needs help.
tries to speak, but can only gape as she clutches her neck, trying to stem the bleeding of a gushing wound. With jagged movements, she raises her clenched fist and holds out a length of cloth, soaked with some kind of strong-smelling tincture. Blood quickly soaks through the cloth. Magister Siwan's mouth opens and closes, her eyes wide in terror. It's working. The pressure is stemming the flow of blood. Siwan clutches your arm, her eyes locked with yours. Something within the ship snaps. The floorboards shudder. Siwan struggles to her feet, clinging to you tightly. The ship lets out a deep groan, then cracks.
Ripping the ship apart. This is it.
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Oriven.
Well, that was decidedly unpleasant. Am I the lone survivor? Depending on one's definition of survivor, of course. This again.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his eyes, his chin, the crown of his head. He spots you, and his arms snap to his sides.
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers.
The child considers your statement.
You're weird. Are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid, searching the shadows cloaking your face. He lifts his mirror to his nose, closes one eye, and looks at himself again.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong. Or crazy. No one cares where I go. They know I can't leave the island. It's nicer out here than inside, anyway. They're gone now. The Magisters took them already. I guess now they're cured. And maybe they're waiting for me back at home. But you didn't die. Guess I am. But it's just normal to be scared. Nowhere isn't scary. There isn't anywhere safer. That's what I mean. You'll see.
Marcus Rex. I've read his history. Quite gruesome, even for a human. Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn. They made it to shore. These bloody collars were supposed to keep those things at bay. Drowned and eaten by a Voidwoken. I wonder in which order.
here, Quercus. Another giant. My word, this blasted isle is teeming with them. What's that? Yes, I did see how it made short work of the great acorn servants. Quite right, very impressive. But that is no reason to trust it. Giants like that destroyed our forests. They are the very reason the great acorn is returning in all its wrath. What? Dear me, have you taken leave of all 6 of your senses? You would have me use this giant for a shield? Why would I... Oh, I see. You cunning devil, Quercus. Of course, if it defeated the great acorn's vile servants, it can do so again. We need only follow in its big, wide shadow and be safe. Egads! It speaks our tongue, Quercus! Hush before... What do you mean a good time for introductions? You know full well who I am, you silly old cat. The great Solora, grandest of the... Oh, introduce myself to the giant. I shall do no such thing. You give away your trust too easily, my dear steed. No, we will have the giant march. In time, we'll see whether it deserves our confidence. Now, onwards! Shield! Venture forth, post-haste. The great acorn waits for no one. Oh, how pensively our shield looks down upon us. Dear me! It has questions, Quercus.
This fucking squirrel.
Why, yes, I suppose answering them is the polite thing to do. Speak! Shield! What are your queries? A giant body, but no giant brain, eh, Quercus? Surely even the tall folk know that Rivellon was bare before the great acorn fell from above and seeded the Irwood, covering this land in beautiful, perfect forests. Beautiful and perfect until the giant races, no offense, realized they could use it to build their houses and fuel their fires. They carved the Irwood up, and the forests shrank and shrank. None of the original wood remains. But someday, the great acorn will fall again. The forests will be reborn, and the giant races will be wiped from this world. At least that's what I hear. Oh, Quercus, it wants answers. As if it is the first creature to ponder the big questions of the universe. What tree did the great acorn fall from? Where did that tree come from, if not a greater acorn? Could you build a nest great enough to store the great acorn for the winter? Some questions have no answers. Quercus, why is that so difficult to understand? The great acorn will come. It will destroy the world, and squirrels will reign supreme forever. I fail to see what's so difficult to grasp. What do you say, Quercus? We once believed it was good, but now... No, quite right. As terrible as the giants have been to us, we do not want to see them wiped out. Rather, we must find a way to live together in peace, giant and squirrel.
Solora stops short, then shakes his head and pats Quercus affectionately.
Squirrels change, don't they, Quercus? Priorities change. If we do not adapt, we are sure to perish. Aye, the giant ask away, she. A giant surely beautiful they but some Oh, Quercus. What tree did the some question the great acorn will come.
It will destroy the world, and squirrels will reign supreme. My, the giant takes notice of its charges.
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is of a bright, blood-red color. Could he be... Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist. You lock eyes with his.
Yes, I imagine you do. You're made of sterner stuff than I first gave you credit for. Chances are I wouldn't have survived the shipwreck had you not returned to the aid of your fellow passengers down in that dreadful hold. You have my gratitude.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get carried away, shall we? Now then, if there's nothing further... I'm sure I don't mean to sound condescending, but I had thought it quite self-evident I was gazing out over the waves.
He sighs,
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? Touché.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass as the waves lap it.
As for myself, when I consider this, I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. Lost. Of course, it's rather specific. Quite obviously, I'm musing over the very actual empire that I lost.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended, he stares at you with utter incredulity.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? The very same. I am the Red Prince. The Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunity. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have. Then by all means, dash.
He watches you depart without another word.
Ah, hello, small, furry creature. How do you do?
It seems we're not the only ones taking on strays. Oh, no need to be jealous, Quercus. Fur maketh not the cat.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it stares at you with acute intensity.
What? How did I get... Hey, stop following me. Huh? Yeah, fine. I'm fine. I'm not sure.
all a little foggy.
The cat opens his mouth as if to speak, but his eyes lose focus, and with a jerk he turns away from you. The cat's eyes are clouded and...
What?
The cat's eyes are...
What's going?
Oh, how pensively. Ask away, she. Indeed, Quercus.
Ooh, that's a pretty one. Hey, mister. It's a lot nicer here than that stinking boat, huh? I'm sure glad you went back to save the others. Saw one of them wringing out their tunic at the shore a few hours ago. Say hi for me. Now where shall I put this one?
The cat's eyes are clouded...
I repeat myself. Where is he?
I know nothing of any Verdus.
We already know the truth, Magister. Now speak.
I am a proud loyal to the Order. I would not dream of subverting our cause.
Atusa, please.
Your Godwoken has asked you a question. Answer him. Where is he?
Need I repeat myself?
But I know nothing of any Verdus.
We already know the truth, Magister. Now speak.
I am a proud loyal to the Order. I would not dream of subverting our cause.
Atusa, please.
Your Godwoken has asked you a question. Answer him.
Need I repeat myself?
But I know nothing of any Verdus.
Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our Godwoken speaks.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapees.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use. Cut it out.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come!
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Stay silent, you!
Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood form against the dagger's edge and quickly fall to the ground. She groans.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think you would lie to his only son, your bishop, and your friend these many years. The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it, then you will help the Void destroy it. Dallas?
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe we're done here.
What a waste. Come, we'll be needed elsewhere.
Changed a bit. Always late. I told him at noon exactly. Didn't I?
Saw 'em, didn't you? The Hammer and Alexander. They gave that scaly traitor what for, they did. Peace is more than she deserves. She were a traitor to the core. Bishop's a son of the dead divine. Don't know when we'll get a new one, but Alexander's looking after us in the meantime all the same. And the Hammer's a solid sort. Don't take no guff and don't stand for no idling. Earned that name for a reason, she did. When you give up the darkness that's inside you. Take your fault, it's there, mine. But it's there all this. They're working on a cure for you even now. So in the time of Lucian, of course. Who wouldn't join up with God when we lost him? Well, it only made sense to see his will through. Can't for certain. But I reckon when God himself gives his life to protect you, you don't waste the gift. You protect it with everything you've got. So that's what we do. Lucian gave his life to protect Rivellon. If we let the Voidwoken get to it now, well, we'd have lost him for nothing. Fort Joy ain't no summer camp. No one said it were, but it's the best we've got to protect the realm.
Did you see him? You did, right? Those claws. Wonder what's behind the masks, too. That, Magister, that was Bishop Alexander, leader of the Divine Order, and his right hand, Dallas. What, have you been living under a boulder? Alexander liberated my hometown from the Black Ring, he did. We never had such peace as we... Now, why don't you move along and settle in? A Magister will come and find you when they're ready for you. Could be a while, though. We're up to our hoods in sinners these days.
Come on, she ain't coming back.
I find any bread. I want no trouble.
Bread or
The cat's eyes are cloud.
Your grift teaches you to bully others.
Did you see them, sir? Bishop Alexander and the Hammer herself, they were so close, almost within arm's reach. A traitor cannot be murdered. A traitor can only receive their due. The Divine Order's all that stands between everything you see and a Voidwoken's throat. Any traitor to them is a traitor to us all. Believe it or don't. The Divine Order doesn't need our loyalty. They'll save us in spite of ourselves.
You. I want only bread.
Come on then, Legsy. Pay up.
Hello? You gonna
This is not your business, Long Pig.
Don't let this moss muncher talk to you like that. Especially a cheapskate like this one. Griff already knows she don't like to pay her fair share.
An intense-looking man steps between the thug and the elf and rolls up his sleeves, revealing well-muscled and heavily scarred arms. You recognize him. It's Ifan, who you met aboard the ship on the way here.
Just stand aside, won't you, mate? This is no business of yours.
Lone wolves decide their own business.
The thug freezes in fear for a moment before shuffling back to the protection of his crony.
Pay up, elf. No one shorts Griff, especially not one of you. Everyone in camp's got to contribute. For food, for protection, no exceptions. Especially not for elves. Griff's orders.
Food? Protection? I have neither.
Runs the kitchen. Means he runs me, You and everyone else in camp. You two ought to be thanking your lucky gods it's us, and not the Magisters enforcing round here. A fool never knows what they've got till it's well and gone. Now come on, Elf. If you make me say it again, there's gonna be trouble.
And neither will I.
We got a system, and it looks like you don't want to fit in.
Oh, I don't feel so good.
I'll yield to none.
Is that indigestion, or is it... Oh, God. Not now.
I'm ready.
Stay down, you!
I'll yield to none.
Stay down, you! Is that indigestion, or is it... Oh, God. Not now.
Follow me, before more of them trouble us.
I've an errand to run around here first. I'll catch up with you there later.
Remember, past the kitchens, down to the beach, inside the caves there. There is a safe place.
Stefan rolls his sleeves back down and casually wipes some blood from his cheek. He nods at you, the shadow of a smile on his lips.
Good work there. Good work. I can tell you've got chops. Say, you were on the ship here with me, weren't you?
He stretches out one rough hand to shake yours.
Suit yourself. Probably wise, given the rashes you can pick up around this place. Say, you don't look all that busy now that we're safely on dry land. I could use someone to watch my back, and it looks like you could use someone to watch yours. I've just got a small errand to run, and then I'll be looking to get the hell out of here while I've still got a neck to collar. How about we stick together until we get out of this place?
He shrugs, looking off to the side.
Mercenaries. It's a job. My job. Everyone needs to make a living. I make mine running errands.
The little black cat trailing you hisses at him, hair raising a ridge along its back. Without batting an eyelid, the man rumbles a lupine growl. The cat hides behind your leg, mewling. He shoots you a flinty look, all teeth and peril.
Lone wolves only share such information with friends. Are we going to be friends?
He grins, sharp teeth glittering in the midday sun.
So, before we hit the road, it's best if we decide battle strategies up front. Should keep more of our blood in. Survival's my main priority. I'll use every trick in the book to keep us alive. But if a wayfarer's not what you're after, I've got other skills. What do you need? Can do. Onwards.
He scans the horizon for threats with one green eye, then nods back at you.
Right you are. Lead the way.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey. The cat's eyes are clouded and...
What? How did I get... Hey, stop me. I know who I am. At least I think I do. Sometimes it feels like... No, I know who I am. Who are you? A head? No, not here. You won't be able to... Won't be...
The cat shakes its head, as if trying to wake up from a deep sleep.
Huh? Yeah, fine.
The cat opens his mouth as if to speak, but his eyes look... The cat's eyes are cloud...
Aye, the giant takes notice. Another giant? No, never! I will pay it no notice. One of its troop has an air of nobility about it, but this one... It's still there, Quercus.
Bolted on there tight, ain't it?
Is that indigestion, or is it... Oh, God. Not now.
Amidst a crowd of screws, bolts, and scraps of metal, the woman is manipulating a glove-like contraption fitted with 5 long metal skewers. She doesn't look up as you approach.
And what you after? Come again?
You another friend of Niles? I told that Magister freak to get back to his little dungeon in the keep, and I'll tell you the same. Now get the hell out of my face!
Where's the oil?
The woman looks up as you approach.
What do you need? Ha! The hammer got you curious. Yeah, funny name for a gal like that.
When I knew her, the Feather would have been a likelier name. Oh, I dunno. She was a sweet soul, quiet, loved her family. Always seemed strong as I recall, but she didn't come across as no fearless military leader back then. She was just a girl. People do change, don't they?
She nods once.
Clever lass, her. No wonder what Alexander sees in her. Question is, what she sees in him. By all means, get an eyeful.
Oh, I don't feel so good.
Tired of the view in here yet?
Oh, I don't feel so good.
I am too, I must say. Good to know someone's got your back when the going's tough. Well, I've got a contract to complete. After that, getting the hell out of Fort Misery seems the best option. I figure we track down my inside man, and then we take it from there.
Ifan shrugs off his backpack and reaches into its depths. After rummaging around, he holds out a tattered page to you, upon which you can see a broken wax seal in the shape of a wolf's paw.
Have a read of my contract and find out.
Stay down, you!
So, time to find this Boris fellow.
You gonna pray all day, buddy?
Ah, you've read my contract. What does that look in your eye mean? Maybe.
He sniffs the wind, gazing out across the dilapidated buildings of Fort Joy, as if looking for something.
But maybe it's going to work out. I've got a contract, a man on the inside, and now you.
Not now.
Good to know. And likewise, with whatever errands of your own you have. I'd say we're making good progress already now.
He freezes and shoots you a wary glance, looking for all the world like a wild animal caught in the lantern light of a racing carriage.
Well, why not? Go ahead. That I did, in Lucian's own army. Yeah. Stay out of their way. From the rank and file to the top brass, they're as ruthless as the wildest lone wolf. But the difference? A wolf never tries to hide what he truly is. There's a reason I don't wear order garb anymore. But I don't like to talk about those days. Thanks for understanding. Now, let's keep moving. I'd say we're making good progress already now, if you must.
Ifan begins counting on his fingers and muttering to himself.
43, give or take. Indeed. That's pretty much how I feel about it, too. What else do you want to know? Not much, I'll tell you that. Why? What do you think of them?
Oh, I don't feel so good.
Huh. Sharp eyes, lad. But they can't keep the likes of us locked up too long, I'll wager. Come on, let's poke around and see if we can sniff out some blind spots in their surveillance.
Losa, the dark-eyed jokester you met aboard the ship, waves enthusiastically and dips into a mock elegant curtsy.
Back then I was Madame Josephine Gribbles. You. Glad to see you made it. Nothing like a nice tentacle slap across the moor to set the tone for the week, eh? How'd you escape? Me too. Did you hear something? When you were in the water, I mean. I heard the same thing. Do you know what this means? It means I'm not the only...
Losa's voice catches in her throat. The joy drains from her face. Her eyes lose focus, and her whole body goes rigid. She is stock-still, waxy-skinned, her eyes dark. Greyish-black veins run from her eyes down her cheeks. Her head snaps to you mechanically, and her eyes lock with yours, dark pupils dilated into great black voids. Light suddenly flashes back into her face. The grey veins drain to pinkish flesh, and her whole body relaxes.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Ah, it's nothing really. It's just... I'm just a bit... well, a bit... hospitable? Put it like this. You've never been a host, I bet. That's because you're an infested clump of leaves on the side of the road. That ain't bad, though. I'd give just about anything to be like you. But I'm a roadside inn. Red door, flowers out front, friendly lady at the door beckoning you in for half price. Like a goddamn gold star inn for the disembodied.
She gives you a searching look.
You seem pretty well adjusted. Ain't that just the truth? So, how are you enjoying the joy? So true. And you can stay as long as your heart desires, free of charge. So, you want to check this place out together? Strength in numbers and all that. Who said anything about otherworldly? Demons and brain ghosts are just as mundane as you or I. Mostly you. So, want to go together? It does, right? Before we head out, I've got more than a few tricks up my sleeve, so you'll have to pick which one I'll pull out if, when, push comes to shove. Lately I've been into the enchanting arts, but I can shoot, slash, summon, steal, whatever your little black heart desires. So, what'll it be? I'm not afraid of getting my hands greasy, if that's what you mean. What are you interested in exactly? I know the feeling. Sounds fine. So, we're good to go? Yeah? Well, that was easier than I thought. And I'll do my best to stay myself. Lead the way. Well, duh. I'm sure that disguise will fool most people, but I'm a very sensitive and discerning soul. Most fleshy folks aren't really alive anyway. Don't sweat it. Or whatever it is you do. Now, let's go.
As soon as I saw that glint in your eye, I knew we'd make a solid team.
Seeming surprised, Ifan gladly takes the drink from your hands and downs a hefty glug.
Ah, that hit the spot.
He holds the flagon out to you. The alcohol hits you like the void itself. Your head spins and your feet feel unsteady. Suddenly, Being stuck in a prison ruled by the despotic order doesn't strike you as the worst way to spend time.
This reminds me of sharing Rotgut with Roost and the boys back at camp. Wish they weren't so far. So tell me, if we weren't stuck here, what would you be doing with your time? Not what I'd choose for myself, but you do you. Relic of Flame. That brew went straight to my bladder. If you'll excuse me. Tired of the view in here yet?
Ifan shakes his head.
I think you know enough about me for now. Let's talk more later, when we've made some more progress.
Ifan nods and surveys the horizon before striding on.
Hey. Hi. Ooh, so serious. What's up? Well, I was giving this concert up on Overlook Hill. There was a great crowd. They were really feeling it. But I guess it was too good. I had me a little sauce flare-up. Everyone went a bit, I don't know, wild, rabid. I snapped out of it before anyone got hurt, but the Magisters caught me backstage afterwards. At least I went down doing what I loved. Of course I do. What's your poison? I've got it.
Losa clears her throat and starts stomping a steady beat into the ground, kicking up dust that dances to the rhythm. Slowly, she claps an intricate pattern above the beat, hips swaying, head nodding. The beat builds into a riot of sound, her hands and feet moving in an inscrutable pattern. She takes a deep breath and starts humming above the rhythm, a sound like a train, like a flock of birds, like nothing else.
Savage hearts in it. I can't. It isn't that. Never mind. We should keep moving. How very sweet of you to notice. I know, it's weird. One of the many side effects of the visitor upstairs.
She drums on her forehead with 2 fingers, smiles grimly, and shrugs.
They used to be blue. Oh well.
She bats her eyelashes at you in an exaggerated flutter, then bursts out laughing and punches your arm.
Character. I like that. I'm going to use that. If I can say nothing else for my current companion, at least I can say it gave me a bit of character. So what's it like, being alone in your head? People say that. Nope. This one doesn't talk to me. It talks through me. You'll know it when you see it. Easy. I'd say we get out of this place. Dunno how long they plan to keep us here, but I'd rather not find out.
Bow your head, please! If we chant the endless prayer, the next divine will ascend! It isn't the words you speak, but rather that you speak them. Prophecy says that only our devotion will restore him to us. A murmur of prayer, constant as the ocean, can lure... Haven't you heard? Bishop Alexander, the Divine's own son, is God-woken. Do not doubt that he will come into his powers at any moment, and...
The shrine depicts Lucian the Divine, avatar of the 7 gods. A low, resonant vibration. Your knees buckle. The hum grows louder. The world tilts and fades.
Shrine, by the looks of it.
Aye, the giant takes notice of its charges.
The cat's eyes are clouded and its eyes clear.
The squirrel's nose twitches as you approach, but the creature turns away before you can say anything. It seems he doesn't want to talk to you.
You there. You've just arrived, isn't that right? Are you quite alone? It's just, I've a proposition. Something very worth knowing. But it's hardly a group. In that case, listen up. You must think me mad to approach a stranger, but this camp is full of cowards and I'm running out of time. Fast. Too fast. Way too fast. I've been here a long time. Longer than anyone else. People get taken sometimes. Some folks say they get cured. I don't know if I believe it, and I don't want to wait and find out. I have a way out of here. Are you interested? Believe whatever you want. This may be your only chance at leaving this place. Take it or don't. Attaboy. Who wouldn't? Finally The plan's simple. Completely foolproof. I have a spell that I can use to teleport you right out of here. There's an artifact that you can use to teleport me out of this place. Then I can use my spell to free you in turn. This item, though, it's in quite an unfortunate location. And how many would make it before the guards noticed? 4? 5? Every bloody sorcerer in this place? Nah, they'd have to take their own chances. It's found its way into a nest of crocodilians on a secluded beach nearby. Here, give me your map and I'll show you where to go. Not enough to trouble a fine specimen such as yourself. Get that artifact, and you and I are as good as free. Go give those overgrown lizards what for.
When another divine arises, will source change back? What if there are no sources? Yet so quickly we find source so dangerous. What in his death caused it? So void-woken are attracted to source. But why? When another divine arises, will source change back? What if there are no sources? Why hasn't Alexander risen yet?
Hey, Freshie! What you heard about a crate of stolen supplies? And don't you lie to me now. Huh. What do I need your help for, Freshie? By the looks of you, if you're done wasting my time... Hey, Freshie! shit, just like everyone else.
Ho ho! Ain't come to shake me down for my knickers, have you? They're all I got left after your buddies were through with me. Oh, right kind of you, my friend. I've grown quite attached to him over the years. Well, almost literally in this filthy place. Oh. Come on, we may be here. Let's help. Oh, 10 bottles of mead, 1,000 bottles of dust. 50 bottles of tears, makes the hinges rust.
Come on, chap. Don't be unreasonable. Better even to puke yourself to death than get purged, don't you think? You should be happy for greed.
What did you say?
That's what happened, isn't it?
Bleeding snake.
Now, let's not get nasty. Greet's better off, I'm sure.
Keep her name out your mouth, how about?
Easy now, Horde chap. It isn't my fault she's dead. Gods. The smell, though.
I'm gonna give you one more chance to shut that ugly mouth of yours.
Goodness, but this place has made you cranky. Perk up, old chap. There's plenty of singletons about.
Leave me be, Sam.
I only mean that if you think about it logically, she's much better off.
Leave it, Sam. I won't say it again.
Come, old chap. Don't be unreasonable. Better even to puke yourself to death than get purged, don't you think? You should be happy for greed.
What did you say?
Please, excuse us.
You're talking to me, not him, Sam.
Oh, for the love of Lucian, Balladeer.
Say it again. What you said about my wife. Go on. Piss off. Go on, Sam.
Well, it's the truth, and you know it. She's better off. So what if it was messy? I'd rather puke myself to death 1,000 times than let the Reds get to me. If she were my wife, I'd be happy for her.
A flat smile twitches across Balladeer's lips.
She never did like you.
The man looks for a moment at the corpse at his feet, then turns back toward the nearly finished coffin, bloodied hammer in hand.
Murder's a big word. And no, this here's a bed for someone 1,000 times better than that snake. Rest her soul. The love of my life, Gret. She passed in the night. Something in the stomach. Doctor couldn't help her.
He tenderly runs a hand along the coffin's side panel.
If she were here, she'd tell me this plank is crooked. Chastise me for using warped wood on her final bed. Then she'd laugh and kiss me. Just here.
The man holds a hand to his cheek for a moment. He turns from you, lines up another nail.
Bastard.
The lizard's brow knits together, then apart, and back again. He seems to be swimming deep in his thoughts, and doesn't look up as you approach.
Oh, 10 bottles of mead, 1,000 bottles of dust.
The ground.
I don't know what you... I'm just trying to work it out. What happened? Why? My mind? What else, my friend? I'm wondering why. All of this. Source, the Voidwoken, the Divine. Why? We've used Source for thousands of years. We have used it to heal, to grow. How can it be that it suddenly summons these horrors from the void? And when will Alexander ascend to divinity? We cannot continue like this. I fear it will be quite some time before we find any answer. When another divine arises, will Source change back? What if there are no sorcerers? Yet so quickly we find Source so dangerous. What is it
Watch yourself. Watch your hands, Pipsqueak. What are you loitering round here for? Out the fort? To where then? The death swamps or the ocean brimming with Voidwoken? Fat chance of getting more than 5 feet in any direction and keeping your skin. Make it quick. Hell if I know. Don't rightly know if it can be done. If they take the source out here, well, aye, sure. Pellamine made it as far as the Hollow Marshes even. They dragged his corpse back the next day. Head pulled clean off by a ghost. I saw it myself. I never seen one myself, but me cousin up in Gore said one appeared from the clear sky one day and ate up every child under the age of 12. I don't know where they come from, but without the Divine, there ain't much we can do to stop.
So, this is Fort Joy.
The delivery. Surely you'll have one.
And disaster.
Scrab, snake face. Hmm? Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm very tired. Abominably tired. Beg your pardon.
I know that look well enough. You're about to pop, ain't ya? Why don't you enter a match and let some of that frustration out the right way? Nothing I can tell you can't find out by slipping down that hatch. If you've got the spit in you, that is.
Leave him be. Don't.
Listen, I can help you if you just...
Shut up, elf.
You forget my name,
First some more rations, please.
Take your coin,
Please.
then.
Help me. Griff accuses me of taking his goods. But he is a savage kind. Do you believe the words of a savage?
Everything there? Good.
Hey, you're a little light in your pack, ain't you, mate? Who could blame you with the garbage they got for sale? Why don't you take a gander at the goodies I got? Stuff you won't find anywhere else in camp. Procured by special means. Fend for yourself then, sweetheart. I'll take what I want after the Reds get to you anyway.
Ain't fit for beasts.
Haven't got shanked through the gills yet? Haven't got shanked through the gills. don't you take a gander at the goodies I got? Let's just say folks leave here, but they don't seem to take their effects. Maybe I happen to know only the finest, you know?
Perhaps if those bleeding dwarves didn't eat so much. Ain't fit for beasts.
When another divine arises, will source change back? What if none source? Yet so quickly we find sources so dangerous. Why instead so void workers are attracted to source. But why? When another divine arises, will source change back?
Worse than war rations, these. Worse than war rations, these.
If a magister finds us on you, you forget my name here.
Keep it down, will ya?
Griff glances from his blade to you and back again. He smirks and holds the little knife up to the light. What?
I'm listening. Can't help you there. If I could, I wouldn't be here peeling goddamn potatoes. Oh, they'll cure you of your sauce. Nightshade will cure you of an headache too. Thugs. Look at it this way. People get lawless here, and we all starve. Sure, have a look. Good stuff, huh?
He points the tip of his blade at the grisly sight of the elf hunched over, clutching his knees in the cage.
I solve my own problems. A Myro. I guess you mean the clown I caught stealing from my kitchen. He's not going anywhere. Caught him red-handed trying to make off with a second crate after he took the first. Went down like a rent boy when we grabbed him. Easy. Supplies. A crate of food, citrus in particular. He'll talk, or he'll die quiet. Alls I want is my supplies. Happy to let this clown die in a gutter instead of my kitchen. Bring back my crate, and you got yourself a deal. You already know the terms. Nothing.
An elf, caked in mud and blood, looks up at you from the bottom of the cage. He holds his shoulder at a strange angle.
You...
believe what he says? That I am a thief?
I got that special shipment he was asking after.
Deceptive. Like most men behind bars, I'm innocent. Like most of us here on the island, in fact. Aren't you like me, looking for a way out? Some people settle in. They don't go poking around in Griff's kitchen. They find a quiet place, wait their turn. Not you.
Everything there? Good.
Smart. In this case, I think we help each other. Griff tells you, does he not? I take his supplies, but I don't take what he thinks. I tell you what I know. But first, I want to make a trade. I know a way out. I show you. And you help me out of here. I cannot die in this cage. Trust is all we have here. I do not counterfeit. I have honor. Finally. Progress. Griff releases me if he sees I do not have what he misses. You must find who steals them. After I am free, you are free. I see no one. In fact, I only hear the sound of Griff clearing his throat. You know how he does. Like so. For some time, I think Griff takes his own supplies. But I see the anger in him that he does not find it. He truly does not find what he seeks. Griff is a powerful man. Power is mysterious, in case you haven't noticed. I intend no harm. I want only some provisions. A bit of bread, a potato or two. Nothing Griff should be loath to give. I need to escape, and I have people to consider. You understand? Thank you. And hurry. Please.
Got it.
Worse than war rations, these. Ain't fit for beasts.
I got that special shipment he was asking after.
Everything there? Good.
The old dog looks up at you but doesn't lift his greying head from his paws. He heaves a heavy sigh.
It's no use anyway. You're nice. Emmy would have loved you. She was my mate for the last 7, carried the 2, plus 50. 5 years! The Magisters, they took her. Nope, haven't smelled her either. She was real bright, you know. Had the best sniffer you've ever seen. I guess that's why they wanted her, not me. Say, let me show you something.
The dog focuses at the cat at your feet, baring its teeth and... The dog focuses at... The cat's eyes are clouded and...
Oh, how pensively our shield looks down. Ask away, she... Oh, what? The great acorn will come. It will destroy...
A little reprieve from the din outside.
You are in the wrong place, Pinky. Fear? Pity, perhaps. A blind wolf may lead the pack, but sooner or later they will all starve. Never mind. If you need to suit up, I can offer you a fair price. If not, I would thank you to move on.
The soldier tightens his grip on his spear and look. The soldier tightens his grip on...
You are in the wrong place, Pinky. Military, are you? Be at ease here, and well met. Let me know if you need any armaments. I offer them to a fellow serviceman at a few coins discount.
The soldier stands to attention. The soldier stands to attention.
You are in the wrong place, Pinky. Do stop gaping. Anything can be procured inside these walls. That's for you to decide. You are in the wrong place, Pinky. Do stop gaping. That's for you to decide.
The soldier stands to it.
I know they help. I magicked you, you're dead!
Thank you for your help with that, thug. Rare is the human who goes against their own for an elf.
The elf appears momentarily puzzled by your comment, but then offers you a dignified little bow.
As far as I'm concerned, you are noble and just in both actions and appearance. I am in your debt.
hear of no escapes. The only way out is through. Through the Magisters, through their cure. Thugs, I can stand, but I fear the Magisters. In this cave, we trust the healer. She is young, but she sees. She knows more than we know. In the camp, the brute Griff rules. He who gives the bread has the power. It gives me great pain. I'm with my family. We are making beautiful magic. We are healing a tree cut down with great violence. The Magisters come. My family runs, but I fall. My son looks back. I shout to him to run. I am taken. Wait, before you go, I am not here without your help. I do not forget this. For you, a prize. I save it for a special occasion, but I can think of no finer occasion than this. Thank you.
I'll stab you right in the eye! I magicked you, you're dead! I know they have. You're too slow! You can't get me! Shua! 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 Got you! You're cheating! I feel him, but I do not
No one
see
tells
him.
me there are so many children in this Fort Joy. Your kind I handle, but small ones. An elf lives forever. If she stays away from spears and fire, she has no need for slimy, sticky, small ones.
As you approach the young elf, Losa suddenly grabs your arm. Her hand is damp. Her face looks pale and grey.
Hey, listen, I don't know why, but I think I need to talk to this elf. You mind? I can't. I just need to talk to her, okay?
She turns towards Sahela. She darts over to the elf without responding. They begin talking in earnest, more quietly than you can overhear. Losa suddenly snatches up both the elf's hands and leans close to her. Her voice rises.
You have to tell me.
The whites of Losa's eyes fade to grey, then black. The colour runs into her veins, crisscrossing her skin like lightning. She keeps hold of Sahela's hands.
It rises in you even now, Losa. Do not let it. You must be strong. Be strong. Fight. Fight. You are okay. You are yours. No one else's.
Shut up. Let go. Let go. I don't want to hurt her. Don't make me.
Losa is rigid as a board, tense with the effort of holding Sahela's hands in tight, painful bunches.
Leave me alone. Leave me. I don't want to.
You are hurting me.
Losa's eyes are black. Sahela's fingers are white under her grasp.
Let me go. Please.
A sinister smile spreads across Losa's lips. She jerks the elf toward her.
Chatty elf. Chatty elf with all the answers.
I wonder what your blood tastes like.
Losa, please, you must not defend her. She wakes if she is weakened. We must hurt her to protect her, you see?
I bet the elf blood tastes like honey, like nectar, like joy itself. Let's find out.
You must weaken her to help her. I'm sorry, Rosa. She does not mean what she does.
You okay?
Yeah, thanks. What? Don't look at me like that. That thing has nothing to do with me. It's just a visitor. A fly that won't buzz off. Glad it didn't freak you out too much, though. I know this kind of stuff can be weird if you aren't used to it. Look at us. A merry band of freaks are we. Let's keep moving. I want to get out of this bloody place as soon as possible. Yes, it is. Hey. Hi. Ooh, so serious. What's up? Okay, I don't. Look, just... I know it was bad, okay? I know. You don't have to tell me. I'm sorry. I just want to move on.
The young girl's eyes are covered, but she turns towards you when you approach. She smiles as though she recognizes you, though she couldn't have seen your face.
Hello, stranger. A strange person from a strange time. I wonder, do you even know how lost you are? I see it before my eyes. It is not so bad. I know which days have bread and which days have none. I know more bread comes someday. It helps. Your life is not your own. Your life is for us all. I cannot say more. You see someday.
Her eyebrows shoot up.
There can be a way. Amiro knows. But he is gone. Do you see him? He knows how to leave.
She nods quietly, as though she knew this all along.
He is caught by those who hurt him. I wish so much for his return. And he tells you what you seek. A way out. Ah, you help him. Your open heart surprises even me. You bless me. You bless us all. I feel him, but I do not see him. I am glad to see you. You fill me with peace. Yes, please ask. Oh, I do not cover my eyes. I cover the place they used to be. They are gone now, taken, but I see all the same. He is a very blind man. He sees things but not truth, not love or joy. I feel very sorry for him. You understand when you meet him after you escape. It is safer here. We make no trouble for Griff. He makes no trouble for us. My home is far. Your language gives me some trouble. We elves... Time, for us, is now. There is not then and when. I knew we must be here. I am not sure how much to explain. You are here, and so we are here. I am glad to see you. Yes, please ask. I knew we must be here.
I magicked you, you're dead! You right in the eye! I magicked you, you're dead! What? Back, evil ogre, or I'll get you with my sword! I'll spare you this time, beast, but don't cross me again. Ever. You're really fun. Hey, I'm gonna hide somewhere in the cave, and you come find me. Ready? Go! You found me! Okay, go! A human? You stink. I know you are, but what am I?
The child sticks out her tongue at you.
Ooh! Wow! You're really smart. I bet. You know what? I bet my best friend would really, really, really like you. Come on, I'll introduce you. I know how to spell introduce. It's I-N... My way is too small for you. You'll have to find another. Hope you brought a shovel.
What's this? I found something. I don't have the right tool for digging. I don't have the right tool for digging.
Rest now. You'll lay yourself to the blue.
Griff glances from his blade to you.
Sure, have a look.
Still on your feet, eh? Glad to hear it. Feel free to take a gander at the stock. Fella in that cage is the thief. Stashed the oranges somewhere before he was caught. If you believe that. Sure do. Ask me, it'd have to be one of those sad sacks that's always hanging around Griff looking for favours.
She darts her tongue out of her mouth like a snake.
Some folks, and some reptiles, will do anything to get his attention. I see plenty of liars in my line of work. Snakes, weasels, worms. That fella's square as a pavestone. If he's the thief, I'll eat my boots. Sure do. Ask me, it'd have to be one of those sad...
She darts her tongue out of...
Some folks, and I see plenty of liars in my line of work. It's all in the eyes. Joy lives in the eyes, sometimes way in the back, but it's there all the same. Liars ain't a joyful bunch. Sure you don't want to have a look at my stock before you go? I was serious about what I said. Everything in my pack's been got by special means. Only the finest, you know.
Perhaps if those bleeding dwarves didn't eat so much.
Here's the goods. Like you wanted. Got it.
Watch yourself, boy.
Follow the rules, or else.
This is my new friend. He's really smart. You'll like him a lot.
Please, small child, leave me to my ruminations.
But he's really nice and tall. Maybe he can even help you with that thing.
Why? A grown friend? You brought an adult here. Good. Good gods. Can it be?
Go on. Don't be shy. Talk to Wither.
You, dead walker, tell me true. Stand you with the source hunters, or do you serve the town at Brackless Rex? Never mind. It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter at all. Yours is the first living face I've seen in what feels like an eternity. It is a living face, isn't it? Ah, I see that perhaps it is not. Still, yours is the first face I've seen in an eternity. A child may technically be alive, but so is a potato. if you understand me. No, Morty cannot help with what I ask. A wicked king it was, Brachus Rex by name. The Order of the Source Hunters discovered a great horror upon this prison isle, and I was sent to stop it. Yet my failure was absolute. I am not fit to bear the insignia of the Source Hunters any longer. Please, good sir, you must free me. Prise this spear from my chest, where it has been stuck fast for the last 1,000 years. Seize the spear. End this degradation. I beg you. Please, the spear. Seize it and pull. I can nearly taste sweet.
It's stuck fast.
Please, the spear.
It's stuck fast.
It's stuck fast.
It's stuck fast.
It's stuck fast.
So, what did you and Wither talk about? Grown-ups are weird. If you're not going to help Wither, you might as well...
It's stuck fast.
This hole is too small for you to squeeze into.
Collar, on. Sauce, gone.
She's gone, Farah. Gone!
Oh, 10 pots of me. 1,000 pots.
Say he likes it thick and long. Combs it out all dilly.
Collared like a dog. A very tall, very strange-smelling dog. I'd pity you, but Chapter the Ineffable has a soft spot for beauty, and you carry that choker off very well.
laughing in the faces of my enemies, of course. Little do they know, the most powerful sorcerer the world has ever known scuttles on their very shores. Sorcerers dance while magisters pull the strings. Fools all! Their tomfoolery won't save them from the destruction the void shall wreak upon them. But of course, they'll happily dump your meager bony corpse into the sea when they're through with you. Oh, the tragedy of it. This power is my birthright, same as yours, but one of us has grown to astounding heights and the other has sunken to depths too humiliating to describe. Pity. Ha! Of course, precious. But which is worse, the cure or the disease?
Oh, silly idea.
Come on, you stubborn hunk of...
The dwarf's fingers clamp around a splintered chunk of wood nailed to the skeleton of an old ship. His whole body strains with the effort of wrenching the plank free.
Ah! Eh? Oh, that. Won't be my first or last roll on a lost boat. Reckon I might have had a harder time of it without your help, though. Bravery on the high seas is rewarded tenfold in the hall, you know. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got business to attend to.
The dwarf spits into each of his calloused palms and rubs them together before placing them both back on the plank and pulling.
Bleeding nail must be charmed or something. Yeah. Go on then. Why don't you give it a shot?
You grab the plank and pull. The rusted nail pops loose, and the plank promptly crumbles to pieces in your hand.
Oh, look at that. Nice of you to finish the job after I loosened her up.
He winks and flips a gold coin toward you. It makes a long, high arc, glinting in the sun.
For your trouble. I suppose it were a fool's errand thinking I could make something out of this heap, but I couldn't help myself from trying.
He sucks a finger and holds it up to the wind, testing.
Winds like these, she would have capsized before she reached the break. Well, on to plan B.
He gives you a wry look, as though deciding whether...
Aye, was planning to build me a raft and paddle off. I've got business north of here, in a town called Driftwood. Far be it from me to miss an appointment. Why don't we make a deal then? You help me get out of this place, and I'll do the same for you. Happy to trundle around with a group of amateurs at your heels, are you? Or not but your own skinny shadow? Your funeral, lad. I'll be here when you change your mind.
Cowrie, cockle, clown.
Dallas, you maniac.
Acho que já chega por hoje. 24 horas. Foi bem mais do que o que eu estava à espera. Era suposto ter sido só um bocadinho, mas pronto. Amanhã há mais. Thanks for watching. Até logo.